What is up, everybody? My name is Nick P. Story, and welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I have another weather-related life story for you guys. And this story is one that I look back on and, think this was crazy, but at the same time, there's some funny things that happened during this story. There's some scary stuff and there's some funny stuff because, you look back on these type of stories as you get older, like, whoa, that really happened. But in this video, I'm going to be telling you about the story about how the time that me and my family had to go to a neighbor's basement because there was tornado warnings all around us. And we will be starting with that right now. But before I go on, I just want to say one thing. That I will be dropping a new video later on this week on my channel. It's going to be the biggest project I've ever done. So if you guys like these videos, please like, share, comment, and subscribe because it really means a lot to me, all of you that watch my videos. And thank you for all who share the videos and just like them in general. So thank you for that. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about the time where me and my family were, well, I think my mom had to take one of my, the story begins when I should say, my mom had to take one of our family friends, Michelle, up to this town called Belleville up in Illinois to, I think, get back surgery or something related to her back because she had a bad back at the time this story took place. So we take her up to Belleville, and then we're up there for a few hours. It takes her 2 hours to get out of the hospital because, she had to go up there to either for some physical therapy stuff or just something of that nature. But after she gets out of the hospital, we know the sky starting to get dark. And then after the sky starts to get dark, I didn't know that there was severe weather planned that day because I was school just got out and I was just 10 years old. Well, actually, no, I was 9 when this story took place. I was 9 years old. In a couple weeks, I would have turned 10. So I was just enjoying my summer off, I wasn't thinking much about it. But we get back home, and the sky starts to get dark, and I notice there's some thunderstorms coming in. I still don't think that, nothing's going to happen. And then, well, actually, no, I said when we got home, I'm sorry, before we got home, I was looking on my phone on the way down back to the house. But so we get home, and then once we get home, I hop on my Xbox, like any other day, because whenever you're a kid, what are you gonna do? You ain't got a job or nothing you gotta go to. So I hop on my Xbox, and then after I hop on my Xbox, I hear that there's some storms that are popping up near St. Louis, and whenever I hear them popping up near St. Louis, they always go north through like Florissant, all these other cities like St. Charles, they go north of us. But then there's multiple storms. There's like almost like a squall line. If you know what that is, I'll have to break what that down is in the video for you guys. Because there's some of you that don't understand these weather terms that I say, so I'll have to explain them to you in a video. That way you can get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So the squall line comes through my area, and then I see tornado warnings to the north. And they see one that's like up north above St. Louis. There's a tornado warning on this storm, on this one, on this one, on this one, on this one. They're all coming across the river. Like I said, when we have storms over here in southern Illinois, they usually tend to come over the river before they hit us. So we have some time to prepare, because excuse me, because they usually come over the river, and we usually have time to prepare and keep an eye on them and just make sure they don't get too crazy. Make sure you're not in the path, and if you are, just to, take your necessary precautions. So the storm comes over the river. It's coming toward the town I lived in at the time. I lived in a small town called Cutler at the time. So after we dropped my mom's friend Michelle off in this town called Sparta, we head back to our small house in Cutler. And then once we get there, I go to my room and play Xbox. My brother gets on the computer and starts playing Wizard 101 because that was his favorite game at the time. And then the sky starts to get dark, and then, I hear there's tornado warnings just a few miles away from us. So, I automatically, as a kid, you hear the word tornado and it just freaks you out. So I start watching the news, and I hear there's a tornado warning storm coming toward us. And then my brother was playing Wizard 101 on the computer at the time, and he just didn't want to get off the computer. We kept saying, and then he kept saying, bro, there's a storm that's coming toward us. We're eventually going to have to go towards the neighbor's house because the neighbor's houses, our neighbors were, they had a basement they had a cellar that was right next to their house. They had like a house, like a house the door was right here. You go out onto the driveway and you go out on the road a little bit, and the cellar's right there in the back of the house, like by their shed. So it was kind of a layout like that, if I can paint some kind of picture in your head. And we lived across the street from, excuse me, well, not across the street from them. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting over a cold, but I'm sorry, I'm going off topic. But we didn't live across the street from them. Well, we kind of did, but we kind of didn't, because our house is right here. There was a house right here, and then their house was like this. You go around the curve just a little bit, and their house is right here. So we go there, and we tell them, hey, if the weather gets bad, can we use your guys' basement? Because we hear there's supposed to be severe weather this day. And they say, sure, no problem. And the sky continues to get dark. And then I hear and then finally sorry about that. The telltale sign that it was whenever the fear factor sinks, and I hear the tornado sirens go off, which I had never heard tornado sirens up to that point. So, whenever you're a little kid that's only 9 years old and you hear tornado sirens go off and there's a possible tornado nearby, it kind of freaks you out a little bit, because your mind just is, excuse me, racing a mile a minute, because you just can't comprehend that. You're actually in the sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I bear with me. I am getting over a cold, so I apologize if I cough a lot in this video. I am getting over a cold. So as a kid, you're not processing that there's a tornado warning storm coming toward you, and you hear the sirens going off, and that you're going to have to go in the cellar, or else you and your family could possibly be hit, because our house didn't have a basement. Our house was a one-story, small house. And so we go over to their house, and my brother still didn't want to get off the computer. He still wanted to play Wizard 101. So we had to drag him we had to drag him off the computer, grab him, hey, not drag him, but grab him, hey, we got to go. And showed him the phone of what was coming. And he was like, okay, fine, I'll get off the computer. And he got mad, but we start running, and mind you, as we tell him, hey, we got to get going. He's like, fine, I'll get off the computer. Let's go take cover. I apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. I had to go get a glass of water, because, like I said, this will be the third time in the video. I am getting over a cold, so if I cough a lot in the video, just bear with me. But as we tap my brother on the shoulder to get off of his game, because then we have to go take cover at the neighbor's cellar. He didn't want to get off of the game because he had just bought a skin or something for the game, or a DLC or something for the game, so he didn't want to get off of it. And then we leave the house, and as soon as we step outside, the wind's whipping around the house. It's pouring down rain, it is pouring. I've never seen it rain this hard, or this is one of the hardest I've ever seen it rain in all my years of living. The sirens are going off, the wind's picking up, there's branches, just blowing on the sides of the streets. The wind's just blowing like crazy. It's raining real hard. We finally get to the cellar, and we get in there. The sirens are still going off. My uncle just is like, oh, it's not that bad. You guys are just overreacting. And during the time we were in the cellar, because as soon as they close the cellar door, it is pitch black in there. It was just a small cellar. I'm going to try to paint a picture for you guys of what the cellar looks like. As soon as you get inside, it's almost like you're sitting inside of it's almost like a U shape, because there's one long seat where people can sit on, like a bunch of people can sit on. There's a huge chair that goes all the way around like this. It's shaped like a U or a horseshoe. So try to picture that in your head. So we're all sitting there, crammed in there. As the sirens are going off, we sat in there for about 30 to 45 minutes. And, the wind's whipping around the houses and stuff like that, just like also I previously mentioned before. And then the rain subsided after about 45 minutes after the storm rolled over. And then after the storm and everything subsided, we come out. There's branches all over. There's trash cans tipped over in our neighborhood. There's it scared the crap out of me. That was the coffee Keurig right there. But there's trash cans tipped over. There's branches all over the road. There's the wind's still whipping up a little bit, but the temperatures dropped to 30 degrees. It was 80 degrees whenever we went into the cellar, and it was 50 when we got out, something like that. And so we get out, and there's just so many puddles. It rained so much that there was a whole puddle in our driveway, a huge puddle. in our driveway. So of course we're soaking wet, our shoes are soaking wet, our clothes are soaking wet. And come to find out, the storm that could have produced a tornado actually fizzled out right over the town that we were over. Like in the town of Cutler, it fizzled out. The storm like fizzled out and lost its strength. But the storm did actually come close to producing a tornado just to the north of us. But praise the Lord that the storm actually weakened and fizzled out whenever it came over the town. We were taking shelter in this dark cellar. And like I said, it was crammed in there. So try to picture like 12 people cramming in like a horseshoe-shaped like basement, or like a big U-shaped like cellar. So we get out, we come back inside, we hear the storm has passed, and then we just look around our community, and there's people coming out like, you know, what just happened? You know, because that was the craziest thing that my town had seen for a while yet, because this town wasn't used to seeing like, you know, storms like this. And there's people just coming out, just talking, laughing, saying, "Whoa, that was crazy." My brother gets back on his game, and I'm sitting in the living room with my mother and my grandpa talking like, "Hey, this is crazy that we just went through all of this. That all of this just happened." Because like I said, the day started out normally. You know, we took my mom's friend Michelle to a physical therapy appointment. We get back to the house. Well, we drop her off in this town called Spar. We get back to the house. The sirens start going off. All this stuff starts going crazy with the weather, you know. And after it starts going crazy, we go into the cellar, come back out. There's all the branches all over the road. We actually had to help people pick up branches and stuff like that out of the road. And there were so many puddles, like my neighbor's yard, because they had a big like trampoline, like those trampolines that have like a fence. I mean not like a fence, but like where you have to pull down like a zipper to get inside or something like that. Their whole backyard was flooded because I just can't believe that it rained this hard in a matter of 20 minutes. That's how powerful the storm was that came over us. But that just goes to show you that Mother Nature can change, that Mother Nature can make weather change in the blink of an eye. But if you enjoyed this story, please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And again, I apologize for all the coughs and like mess ups I did in this video. I am just getting over a cold, so bear with me on that. But if you enjoyed this story, please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And thank you for all the support you've been giving me lately. I really appreciate it. It makes me want to create more videos for you guys and make better and better content for you. But like I said, if you like this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, and have a great day.